Forget lost cities and mythical sea monsters. The real mind-bender lurking in the ocean? The dolphin. Yeah, the greatest trick the deep blue ever pulled was convincing you these sleek, smiling marine mammals are just adorable, happy-go-lucky, squeaky pool toys of the sea. Spoiler alert, they're not. Forget Flipper. Beneath those perma-smiles and cheerful clicks lies a reality check. Absurdly complex mind, straight-up sophisticated social dynamics, sometimes bordering on gangster, and a level of calculated mischief that makes your average house cat look like an amateur. Hollywood sold you a sea puppy. The truth is, closer to a hyper-intelligent, occasionally ruthless, underwater mensa equipped with biological sonar. Yeah, they're marine mammals, breathing air like us landlubbers, warm-blooded, basically proving mammals just had to conquer the water too. Probably, but that's where the simple stuff. These aren't just swimming mammals. They're intellectual heavyweight, with brains so large and convoluted, they give neuroscientists migraines trying to figure them out. And they know who they are. Each dolphin develops a unique signature whistle. It's literally their name, a personalized jingle they use to identify themselves and call out to others. And they don't forget. They can recognize the names of buddies they haven't seen in decades. Imagine bumping into someone from kindergarten 20 years later, and they greet you with your embarrassing childhood nickname, perfectly whistled underwater, echoing through the blue. That's dolphin life. Long memory, possibly holding on to that time you stole their juice box back in 2003. And their senses? Forget about it. They practically live in the matrix. Their echolocation isn't just clicking. It's painting detailed 3D pictures with sound, letting them see perfectly in murky water or the pitch-black abyss. They can tell the difference between a ping pong ball and a golf ball just by the echo, even if it's buried in sand from yards away. It's ridiculously precise. Plus, some species even have electroreception, using sensitive pores on their snouts, left over from ancient whiskers, to detect the faint electrical fields given off by fish hiding beneath the seabed. It's like having built-in night vision and electrical vision combined with biological sonar that makes our best tech look clumsy. Your fancy smartphone is basically a caveman's nicely shaped rock compared to the sensory suite. They're also networking pros, these guys. They team up, not just with each other in incredibly complex hunting strategies, like coordinating to herd fish into tight bait balls, creating literal walls of bubbles, driving prey onto shorelines and strand feeding, or whipping up mud plume nets to trap panicked fish. But sometimes, astonishingly, even with humans. Down in Laguna, Brazil, generations of wild bottlenose dolphins have literally herded schools of mullet towards fishermen waiting with nets, timing their signals perfectly and getting their share of the bounty in return. It's a cross-species business arrangement older than most Fortune 500 companies, built on learned strategy, trust, and probably some slick dolphin negotiation tactics involving very specific clicks we haven't deciphered yet. They're not just playing, they're running highly efficient aquatic enterprises. Okay, time to peel back that cute curtain a little further. Dolphins aren't always the perpetually cheerful ambassadors the tourism brochures make them out to be. They live complex lives with real stakes. Remember that long memory? Yeah, it means they can likely hold grudges, or at least remember negative encounters, for a very, very long time. Annoy a dolphin? It might just remember your face, or your boat, or your whistle. And they can be seriously aggressive. Forget playful bumps. Male dolphins, especially bottlenose, form intense alliances, basically gangs, to control territory and access females. These disputes can involve brutal fights with biting, ramming, and violent headbutting, complex social maneuvering, intense competition. It's like high school, but underwater and with significantly more horsepower. Sadly, infanticide has even been documented in some populations, a harsh reality driven by competition or social dynamics we don't fully grasp. And yes, they absolutely bully sharks, often ganging up to harass, injure, or even kill sharks that wander into their territory or pose a potential threat, sometimes seemingly just to establish dominance. That famous dolphin smile? Sometimes it hides the sharp teeth of a creature that absolutely will defend its interests and isn't afraid to throw down when provoked. They're complex, intelligent beings, not just perpetually happy playmates. But even their tougher side is often wrapped in sheer cunning and a healthy dose of mischief. They're notorious for messing with researchers or trainers in captivity, demonstrating a level of understanding that borders on manipulative genius. Stories abound of dolphins figuring out the reward system for collecting trash from their pool. Realizing they get one fish per piece of trash, they'd tear a large piece into tiny scraps and hide them under a rock, bringing them back one single piece at a time to maximize their fishy payout. Others have learned to fake distress calls or injuries to solicit sympathy or extra treats. They're not just learning tricks, they're learning how to game this. It's less good boy doing a flip and more aquatic con artist running a long game. Their cooperative problem-solving often leaves scientists stunned. revealing a capacity for strategic thinking that's frankly quite intimidating. And get this, they have culture, like actual traditions, specific behaviors, learned and passed down through generations, varying from one pod to another, just like human custom. Different groups, different ways of life. In Shark Bay, Australia, some bottlenose dolphins teach their young the incredibly specific skill of using sea sponges, carefully selected and carried on their rostrums, snouts, as protective nose guards while digging for food on the sharp, abrasive seafloor. That's tool use, folks, learned and transmitted culturally. Other populations master unique hunting technique, like the aforementioned emued plume feeding or strand feeding. And some populations, baffling, learned tail walking, rising vertically out of the water and moving backward on their tails, just like in the old flipper show, a behavior that seems to offer no practical advantage and might have spread purely as a social. It's like different dolphin neighborhoods, having their own unique slang, fashion trends, and specialized skills, underwater subcultures, thriving and evolving beneath the waves. Their communication is another layer of this complex reality. It's not just random squeaks and clicks. It's a sophisticated symphony of sounds and movements, clicks for echolocation, painting sonic pictures of their world, whistles for social bonding and identification, those signature names, and a whole vocabulary of body language, tail slaps, jumps, postures, fin touches, conveying everything from excitement and playfulness to warnings, threats, and intricate social information. We're still decoding it, but it's clear they're having conversations far more complex than we once imagined. And finally, their intellect itself pushes boundaries. Dolphins are part of the exclusive club of animals, alongside great apes, elephants, and some birds like magpies, that have passed variations of the mirror test, demonstrating self-awareness, recognizing the reflection themselves. Their advanced problem-solving, incredible memory, and observed behaviors that suggest empathy, like supporting injured pod members, hint at a rich, conscious inner life that challenges our assumptions about non-human minds. Is that dolphin just gracefully swimming, or is it contemplating the philosophical implications of its own reflection between echolocation clicks? Maybe, just maybe, it's doing both. So, the next time a dolphin breaches the surface, sleek arc against the horizon, or when you see a pod moving with effortless, coordinated grace, remember the layers. Remember the complexity beneath the charm. You're witnessing a creature that blends fierce intelligence, intricate social structure, learned cultural traditions, occasional ruthlessness, and undeniable charisma into one phenomenal package. They are the ocean's charismatic enigma, the strategists, the communicators, the sometimes gangsters, the tool users, the escape artists, the cultural pioneer. Now, do yourself a favor. Hit that like and subscribe button. We need the views before these sonar-wielding, culture-creating, potentially grudge-holding geniuses figure out they can coordinate a hostile takeover of the internet using only signature whistles and maybe some strategically aimed water squirts. Trust me, you don't want to be on their bad side when they finally unionize. Thanks for watching.